3.2, solving problems with decimals. This chapter have a calculator available. You can use it. So to try these really with a calculator, this shouldn't be a problem at all. So let's quickly go through those. So 155.75 plus 29.35, 185.1. We'll do the first two using our calculator and the second two without. So 475.5 minus 98.75 and 376.75. Let's look at the next one here. I'll do this without a calculator. So 23.5 times 0.5. So that's going to be 25, 15 plus 2 is 17, 10 plus 1 is 11, and nothing else, 2 decimal places, so 2 decimal places. So 11.75, or you can think of taking half of 23.5. Next one, dividing by 9. So 465.48 is your dividend. So 9 doesn't go into 4, it goes into 46, approximately 5 times. That's 45. Bring down the 1. Subtract to get 1, bring down the 5. 9 goes in once. 6. There's the decimal. Bring down the 4. 9 times 7 is 63. 1, bring down the 8, and it does go in exactly there. So 51.72. Okay. So here is an example. Brian is a gas fitter. Gas pipe costs $7.69 per yard. How much will it cost to construct a pipe from the gas supply at the front of the house to the hose hookup for the barbecue at the back? So the dimensions are given here. Notice that these are in meters. Okay, so we can calculate the total first of all by adding them together. The steps are given here. So how many meters will Brian need for the job? So we'll need to add those together. So 2.2 plus 9.85 plus 3.6. This will give us our total in meters. And then we'll have to convert that, obviously. So if we add those together, we end up getting 15.65. Okay, so that's how many meters he will need. Now we need to convert it because the price is in dollars per yard. So if you remember back, you can look at, oops, that's not what I want. You can look back at your formula sheet or your conversion sheet at the back of your book. It's also back in the last chapter, but here it's given to us that 1 meter is 1.09 yards. So that's always, if the units that we're given is meters, it's always nicest if we can find the conversion for 1 meter equals something yards, and it is given to us. Okay, if we had the conversion for 1 yard to meters, we'd have to divide. But this we can just multiply. So we have 15.65 meters multiplied by 1.09. So I'll do this together with you. 15.65 times 1.09. Okay, so that's 17.0585 yards. I'm not going to round anything because you've got to make sure you get enough material, right? Then I will use all of that. Now here's the thing. When you go to buy things, certainly as just a retail consumer at Home Depot for us, you can't buy 0.0585 of a yard. So you would want to say whole yards. Maybe for a builder, that's a different story because they they can go to their supply and just cut off what they need. So that's a little bit different, but for us, just be aware that if you could round this to 17, but then you'd be a little bit short. So probably if you bought at Home Depot, I would probably order 18 yards, okay? And then that gives you a little bit extra. In any case, we'll keep it exact because we're assuming this Brian works for a company that he can just charge you the exact amount. Okay, and then that's, now it's money. So we always go to 2 decimal places for money. So that's going to be 18 cents. Okay, $131.18. All right. Next one, a welder cuts a piece of steel 1.92 meters long into 4 equal pieces. What is the length of each piece in inches? So you can see in this solution, it's dividing that into 4 to start. What you could do is convert this to inches and then divide by 4. Doesn't really matter. So let's follow this. We'll divide our total measurement by 4 to get the length of one piece. And that's 0.48 meters, which is 48 centimeters. Okay, remember there's 100 centimeters in a meter. And then we, again, want to convert from centimeters to inches. Now take a look at what they've done here. So they've given you the other conversion. Really what I would like to look for is what 1 centimeter is in inches. And then multiply. Okay, what they've done is done the other conversion and divided, which is totally fine, but just be aware that that's why it's dividing. So if we look for this in your conversion chart, you'll see that it's 0.39 inches. So I'm going to do my work over here. I'm going to take 48 and multiply 0.39. And let's do that. So I'm not going to use the 0.48 that's in my calculator because remember I converted in my head. So now I'm going to take 48 and times by 0.39, and that's 18.72 inches. Now let's compare to what we would get if we divided by 2.54 here. Okay. Should be close. It may not be exactly the same because we are using conversions that are only to 2 decimal places. So it's 18.897, which is really, if we go to 2 decimal places, 18.90. Okay, now in general, if we were to round this, we'd say it's about, if you see the word about, it's about 19 inches long, but notice the difference in this. Okay, so sometimes if you compare answers to some solutions that we give you, it depends if you used multiplying or dividing. Your answer isn't wrong, it should be close, but it's because we're only going to 2 decimal places here. Okay, if we divide 1 by 2.54, you'll see that, let me do that here, 1 divided by 2, oops, let me move this up, 2.54 is 0.39 with more decimal places. Okay, so that's why they're not exactly the same. So just be aware of that. And that's the end of 3.2.